Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm gonna teach you math, how to do math, specifically trigonometry. I love trig so much that I took a second year of it. I took it this same exact class last year. So, as you know, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So, which is the Pythagorean theorem? When A is a leg, B is a leg, and C is a leg. So if B, and this is a right angle by the way, if B was over here and C was over here, this statement would not be true. So this is the graph that goes along with this. It has to be. But I'm going to teach you about the unit circle. But first, let me teach you about something called radians. Radians are like degrees, but you, instead of being in numbers, they are in terms of pi. Now, I don't really know about this, like how or why, but I know that pi is equal to 180 degrees, which is halfway around a circle. This is 180. So this angle would be 180. Or it would be pi. Now pi over 2 would be 180 divided by 2. That would be 90 degrees. Pi, let's divide it again. Pi over 4 divided in half again, that's 45 degrees. Now there's two other ones that you need to know about. That is pi over 3 and pi over 6. So 180 divided by 3. 18 divided by 3 is 6, so 180 divided by 3 equals 60. Now pi divided by 6. 18 divided by 6 is 3, so 30 degrees. So we can think about it in those terms. Radians are more helpful. In the sign, usually if you see this symbol, theta, then that means angle measure. The angle measure is in radians. So some equations will be the arc length equation. The arc length is the radius times theta. To find the length of this, or to find the angular velocity, omega but equals theta over time. So how many degree, or how many radians is it moving, is a point moving, in how many seconds, minutes, hours, whatever. Or linear velocity is it would be r or s over t or r theta over t. I think of it like this, but that is the linear velocity. So if a point is moving here and it's going like this at certain angular velocity, it's going relatively slow. But if it's out here, it's going relatively fast. But you don't really have to worry about that. We're just learning about radians and other things right now. But let's suppose you have an angle where this is 1. So there's 2 types of triangles, or like, you know what I mean, special right triangles. So you have one 30, 60, 90 triangle. 30, this is 30 degrees, and this is 60 degrees. So it's kind of like a Pythagorean triplet, like 3, 4, and 5. It's a Pythagorean triplet. If you see 3 and 4 as the legs, that means the hypotenuse is always 5. But this is a special right triangle because if you have a right angle and you have 30, that means that the other angle is always going to be 60, which is a special right triangle. Another one, if I can draw this correctly, is a 45, 45, 90. This angle is 45, this angle is 45, then that's 90. Or if these sides and these angles are even, that means 45, 90. Because 45 and 45 equal 90. So those are the basics of this triangle. Now I believe on this triangle. Okay, so I just sketched our unit circle really quick. Now this is going to be 1, and then here is our unit triangle. Honestly, I don't really know why it has those values, but so here's the 30, 60, 90 triangle, and here's the 45, 45, 90 triangle. So now let's just graph. I'll do this roughly. Here. Graph this 45-degree angle, so pi over 4. Now we're going to graph it cosine, sine. So cosine, so obviously you can use any angle. So the cosine here, so good to so you can use SOHCAHTOA. The cosine is the adjacent over hypotenuse. So if you have your 45-degree angle right here, adjacent 1 over root 2. That's the sine. Or you can do root 2 over 2 because the radical isn't supposed to be on the bottom. And then the sine. Okay, so the sine is the opposite over hypotenuse. So the opposite is 1, and the hypotenuse is root 2. So the 45-degree angle is the same thing. I mean, for hypotenuse, for sine and cosine. Now, the tangent is this line. So this will be the tangent of your thing, I don't know, your triangle. Because if you see, it makes a little triangle right here. The tangent is sine over cosine. So this over this, that's something over itself, that's just 1. The tangent is 1. So yeah. So now 30 degrees pi over 6 30 degrees. This is the angle that we have here. Let's find the cosine, which is this. How far over is it? The cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent, root 3 over hypotenuse 2. Now the sine, how tall, the y value, is the opposite over hypotenuse. So the opposite is 1, and then the hypotenuse is 2. So this is just 1/2. Now to find the tangent, we can just go down here and put sine over cosine. So sine 1/2 over cosine root 3 over 2. Now to cancel out this 2 on the bottom, I will multiply by 2 on the top and the bottom. So 1/2 times 2 is just 1. And just 1 over root 3, or you can do root 3 over 3. That's what I do, but just for the sake of visibility, I will do that. So now the only one left is the 60-degree angle, pi over 3. Now I can't really write this here, but pi over 3, so 60. Let's find the cosine. Adjacent over hypotenuse, 1 over 2. That's the cosine. And then the sine, opposite over hypotenuse, so this is your angle. Opposite is root 3, hypotenuse is 2. Root 3 over 2. So as you can see, these two are the opposite of each other, but obviously they are from the same triangle, so that makes sense. So now to find the tangent, sine over cosine. The sine is 1/2. Wait, no, the sine is 3 over 2. Sorry. Over cosine, 1/2. So now we just multiply by this again. Cancels out the 2 here and here. So it's just root 3 over 1, which is equal to root 3. So now you have your first quadrant, but obviously we haven't found this one yet. So the sine of 0 degrees, that's not in one of our triangles, but we can look. The sine is how far over it is. It's 1 over, the cosine is how far over it is. It's 1 over. So the cosine is 1. It's 0 up, and the tangent is the sine over the cosine. So 0 divided by 1, that's just 0. Now 90 degrees, pi over 2, that's a little different. So its cosine is 0 because it's in the middle. Its sine is 1 because it's up 1. Now sine over cosine, 1 over 0. if you divide by 0, it will be undefined, so the tangent is undefined. So that's your entire first quadrant. I want to do more videos like this because I love trigonometry, and there's so many things that you can graph and whatnot. So yeah, I'll come back maybe on a different page the next time and teach you that. So yeah, I hope you had a great time watching this and learning, and now you know about radians. And yeah, if you made it to the end, thanks you for watching, and I will see you in the next video if you decide to